How the hell are you? Oh, got some Madden ratings for you. Not at all happy about these fuckers. I don't know who's in charge of this, but they should be fired. Um, Goodness fucking gracious. I don't get it. This is Walk Off Sports Talk, and I'm going to rant for a minute. Just, ah, it's frustrating. I don't get the lack of respect for Colts players. Just don't get it. Michael Pittman, we'll start with him. 83 Madden rating. 83, which is fine, but not for Pittman. 1,082 yards last year, 80 more, and he would have been in the top 10 receiving yards. By week 9, he was the NFL leader in third down reception yardage. So, not exactly a chump of a season. 48 more receptions than his previous season, 579 more yards, 5 more touchdowns, 57 was his longest reception. 12 yards better than his previous best. This is a guy who has speed. He can get the long ball. This is a guy who can cut. His breakout of routes is really, really nice. It's very, very crisp. If a ball is underthrown, he has the ability to slow down while keeping his balance, get the ball, retain the ball to his person, and get it gone for a touchdown. Very, very underrated route runner. Um, his field awareness is exceptional. He put up these yards with Carson Wentz throwing the ball. So, a couple of those games, Edinger, however the hell you say his name, was playing. So, all that should be taken into consideration. Um, in 2020, he started 13 games with very, very, very similar numbers. Um, it could have been back-to-back highlight seasons uh, for the guy. Um, I just don't get the lack of respect. He should have been given an 85 to an 88. Um, just a couple points, um, which is why I started with him because he's the weakest of the three in terms of arguments, uh, pro arguments. Um, but still, put some respect on the guy's name. Next, Darius Leonard. The team uses a 4-3 scheme with a cover two pass with uh, cover two passing coverage. In 2018, 15 games started, 2 interceptions, 8 passes defended, and 4 forced fumbles. 2 fumble recoveries and 7 sacks, 163 combined tackles, 111 solo, 12 tackles for loss, 8 QB hits. That's 2018. His first motherfucking season. Okay. All right. 2019 started 13 games. Pandemic related there. Uh, 5 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 7 passes deflected, 2 forced fumbles, 5 sacks, 121 combined tackles, 71 solo, 7 tackles for loss, 6 QB hits. That season, he had an 80-yard interception return for a touchdown. Second year. In that season, by the way, very impressive numbers. The team experimented with cover three and single high safeties, so wasn't exactly we know precisely what we're going to do because we did it last year. They threw in some stuff, experimented, tried a few things, and he still performed extremely well. 2020, 14 games played, again COVID related, 7 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles with 3 fumble recoveries. So each time he knocked the ball out, he got it himself. 122 combined tackles, 75 solo, 4 tackles for loss, 3 QB hits. Again, back to back to back, dominant, overpowering seasons. 2021, 16 games. Started 4 interceptions, 8 passes deflected, 3 fumble recoveries, no sacks that year. 122 combined tackles, 75 solo. 4 tackles for loss and 3 QB hits. The guy just does not stop performing at all. He's incredibly fast. He's incredibly strong. He's the anchor on defense. He's able to deflect passes, which means if you get in deep and you're a tight end wide receiver, you're not safe. You aren't safe. If you're a runner, better hope he doesn't find you, but he's going to. So prepare to get hurt, get your feelings hurt, and to feel that pain when he just destroys you. If you're a QB, you aren't safe. There's no position on the field offensively where you are safe. If you are a lineman, he will throw you aside and he will get to your quarterback, except for last year, of course. But, different D in terms of new guys coming on board. He didn't have to do as much himself. He could anchor that middle linebacker position and just relax and do his thing. This season's going to be even better. We have Gus Bradley, who uses a 4-3 cover 3 scheme. He took the Raiders defense from 25th to 14th, and in points allowed from 30th to 26th. They were 31st turnovers, dropping one spot from 2020. It's important to note that in the season mentioned previously, the Colts attempted to replicate the Seattle defense in terms of size, speed, and some coverage. It didn't go well. As I said, they experimented with some things. But now they had the man who helped design that Seattle D with Pete Carroll. So this could mean an explosive year for Leonard. An absolutely explosive year for Leonard, because he won't, again, have to carry such a heavy load. Less pressure, more productivity. The dude deserves a 93 to 95 rating. He's just an absolute beast. He's going to be even better. Another year with the team, another year of comfort, renewed vigor with their embarrassing loss, and more determination with their embarrassing loss to the Jaguars that knocked them out of the playoffs. He's determined. The team's determined. He has help. Ngakwe's there. Gilmore's there. He doesn't have to do everything himself. They have just a devastatingly good defensive line. Secondary is the only iffy thing, but I think they're a bit underrated. We have some studs back there. He's going to be able to once again, for the second consecutive year, anchor that middle linebacker spot without added pressure. You are the QB of the defense if you are the middle linebacker. So when you have added pressure on top of that, that's a lot of weight to carry. It's a lot of burden on your shoulders. So I expect him to absolutely destroy. Again, should have gotten a 93 to 95. On to Jonathan Taylor. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned it. I do apologize. Darius Leonard had a 90 rating, by the way. That is just absurd. I lean more towards 95, 96 than 93, 95. But, I mean, that's just like the homer talking. So, 93, 95 is fair. Jonathan Taylor, he was given a 95. 95. 95. That is a slap in the face. And hopefully Jonathan Taylor takes it as such. It's a game. It shouldn't matter as much. But just go on Twitter and look when these Madden ratings come out and just look how they all receive these ratings. Their emotions, their thoughts, it matters to them a lot. In 2020, he played 15 games, started 13 of them, 232 rush attempts, 1,169 yards, 11 touchdowns. Longest was a 62-yard run to the house. Receiving-wise, he brought in 36 of 39 targets, 36 of 39, or 299 yards and 1 touchdown. Averaged 77.9 yards per game. In 2021, played and started every game, 332 rush attempts, 1,811 yards. That's a 642-yard difference. Remember, he played 15 games the previous season and started 13 of them. Also, 18 touchdowns. 18 touchdowns. 7 better than his rookie season. Also, he bested his longest touchdown by taking an 83-yarder to the house. Booyah. Averaged 106.5 yards per game. Receiving, he brought in 40 of 51 targets. Not as good as his previous year. But when you consider The fact that he was seemed to have better hands than previous season. Um, that's more confidence. Plus, you have Naeem Hines, which means you know what you're going to get with Naeem Hines. You know you're going to get a guy who can just explode speed wise and can catch the ball really, really well. So for Jonathan Taylor to be getting the ball through the passing game just speaks to how good he is. Yeah, so 40 of 51 targets for 360 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a 9-yard average. A .7 game from his previous season. His longest reception was 76 yards, besting his previous record from the season before by 37 yards. To top it all off, he came second in the AP Offensive Player of the Year voting, was an All-Pro in his second season, and he made the Pro Bowl. He has speed, power, agility, intellect, is a consensus first overall in every fantasy format. If they could, soccer players would take him. Soccer fantasy players. He's feared league wide, absolutely feared league wide, and he has a really solid offensive line. The dude's a 99. The batting ratings can fuck off. The dude's a stud. He's an absolute weapon. He has power, speed, agility, can make the cuts, A gap, B gap, yo mama's gap. Doesn't matter. He's gonna get the job done. These ratings are an absolute travesty, and Madden can fuck off.